or welcome if you're new here. I appreciate you checking out the channel. Appreciate your support. Before we get started, if you have been watching the content and you enjoy it, please smash that like button. It helps tremendously for the channel to get going. We have some interesting stuff here from Kelly Marie Tran. You may know her as Rose Ticco from the Disney Star Wars. Now, this is kind of bizarre, and I will tell you why. Not just because of what she said, but I did a video recently, last week, I think, on John Boyega's attack on the Star Wars fans, an attack on those who don't have the same level of tan that he has, which of course was absolute nonsense. The fans loved the idea when they saw trailer and everything. They thought they were getting a Stormtrooper to Jedi story arc, but of course Disney didn't give us that. They completely reduced him to running around set yelling Ray, and that was completely on Disney. The fans were absolutely ready to embrace what they thought his character was going to be. And of course, he came out recently attacking all of the Star Wars fans. And then we now have Rose Tico doing the same thing. And it's kind of interesting because Star Wars is basically over, right? I mean, Disney has completely ruined Star Wars, although they've got things coming out, I'm sure, but they've basically ruined it. And now you have Boyega coming out and making these comments, and you've got Kelly Marie Tran in a recent interview saying, I was persecuted by the cist Star Wars fans. It's interesting how it seems to be happening pretty consistently to actors of color who find themselves in these spaces. And I think these occurrences are a microcosm for the social climate that we're living in. And it's really unfortunate. We live in a world where those identities have been weaponized so that people are not able to see the bigger picture. I really just want people to recognize it's the system that's the problem. Stop scapegoating people of color or queer people or anyone who's different. None of this is true. And as much as everyone disliked her character, it was not about her, the actress. It was about, again, a Disney Star Wars terrible character. It was a poorly written character. It had no purpose in Star Wars. Kelly Marie Tran could have put on an Oscar-winning performance, and it wouldn't have mattered because the character was absolutely terrible. But of course, that is never what they want to talk about. No, no, no. They want to talk about it's the fault of the fans, as always, the fault of the fans. Most people, and look, I'm not talking about trolls. There are gonna be trolls about everything, so I'm sure anyone can go find some weird troll throwing hate and shade at anybody, but that is not the fans. Most people criticized the character, just like with what Disney did to John Boyega's character, not her as a person. And again, as I said, it's weird how Star Wars has been just completely collapsed because of how badly Disney has handled it. And now you've got John Boyega and you've got Kelly Marie Tran. They're coming out and screaming ism all these years later, despite, by the way, having very different takes in the past. It's absolutely wild that they're coming out with this nonsense and spewing this crap. It has nothing to do with actors of color. It has to do with Disney and other studios. It has to do with all of the race swapping original character or race swapping characters when they do remakes and reboots and reimagining and all of that and all the diversity stuff for the sake of diversity and for virtue signaling instead of writing good characters. It's just like women in Star Wars. There were never, they hate women in Star. Really, really, because Princess Leia wasn't popular. Is that what we're saying? Mara Jade, by the way, who's one of my favorite characters and what I think is still the best written Star Wars books was, I believe it was the first books, Star Wars books approved by George Lucas in terms of this, extended, expanded universe, which was the Timothy Zahn, who's a phenomenal science fiction writer, wrote the first trilogy after after the movies, and in those books, it took place. I want to say what 5 to 10 years after Return of the Jedi. That's where we got Mara Jade. That's where we got Grand Admiral Thrawn. It was a phenomenal character, which again Disney butchered Disney butchered. Uh, so this is all absolute nonsense, of course, from Marie Tran. But this all they have. They have to start spewing this nonsense. She knew it was going to get her attention. Get her attention. She knew she couldn't go out and attack Disney for writing such a poor character. No, no, no. It has to be the horrible, toxic fans. Well, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Appreciate you checking out the video. Smash the like button if you get a chance. Go ahead, tap, click, whatever it is you can do. It helps out tremendously. I do appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. I think we're close to actually 100. That puts us 1/10 of the way to that magic 1,000. I'm going to leave it there. Go have the day you deserve.